Hi, this is Kayla from the Salty Yankee, and today I'll be assembling the pie and cake slice boxes. Comes with a pumpkin pie, a cherry pie, and a birthday cake. They're all basically the same. The lids are a little bit different and it's got some different details. I'm going to start by assembling the pumpkin pie. So these two pieces are the box itself, the box and the lid. I'm going to start with the bottom box. So I'm just folding along all my dotted lines and using the scraper to go over it to make sure it's nice and strong. And I'm going to start with folding in the point of the slice, and I'm going to glue down that tab first. Okay, and I'm going to fold these two tabs inward to form the back side of the box. So that's how it's going to look. I'm just going to add glue to these two tabs and press them down. Okay, so now I can move this aside and work on the lid. So same thing with this, I'm going to fold all of the sides up, and on your lid you want to make sure your creases are very strong because it needs to be strong enough to stand on its own so that when you put it on the box it will hold its shape really well. Okay, so now I'm going to take these tabs and I'm going to glue them to make the triangle shape. I'm going to start with the tip and glue it down. Now you'll notice there's going to be tabs that sort of hang, off. Those are going to get folded in after. So you're just creating the triangle shape right now. It's going to feel a little bit awkward until we fold those tabs in. And then same thing on the back. We're going to glue these tabs to form the triangle. So now you can go ahead and fold these tabs inward. It's going to be a tight fit, but you want it to be so that it's nice and strong. You can add glue here. You probably should. I didn't do it. I'm just using these as displays, but I would add glue before folding these down. Now the lid is ready to be placed onto the box. So now let's do the top. This is really simple. Just take this little frosting piece. It will line up perfectly with the edge of the pumpkin pie top piece. And just glue that on. You can also use foamies to give it more dimension. Everything that I'm doing in this video is just going to be glue. And now we're just going to glue the little whipped cream down onto the top of the pie. And there's our pumpkin pie all finished. Okay, now we can get started on the cherry pie. So we're going to start with these two pieces. These are the box and the lid. It's going to be the exact same box and lid from the pumpkin pie. So if you want to go back and watch that from the previous part of the video, it will be exactly the same here. I'm just going to speed this up. Okay, so the box and the lid have been assembled. Now we need to add the sides of the cherry pie on. So you'll have two pieces that look like this. They're going to go on either side of the box, and you want to make sure that each one is even with the other so that it matches on both sides. So here's a look at it with the lid to see what it will look like. And I'm going to glue this down. And now do the same for the other side. Okay, now we can add our lid back on. Now let's work on the top. So you'll take this red triangle and glue it behind the little cross hatches here to make it so that the filling is showing through. And I'm just going to add glue to the cross hatches and put the red piece behind it. It's going to look like that. I'm just dabbing off some extra glue that came through there. Okay, and now you've got this little extra piece of crust. I'm going to glue it down, but you can use foamies to make it stick up a little bit. So I'm just going to glue this directly down onto our pie box. And I'm going to move this one aside. Fold in all of the sides of the whipped cream and then fold them back out. So on each one of these tabs, there's a tall and a short tab. So you're going to fold it going around so that the larger tab covers the smaller tab on the next one. And you're going to kind of have to hold it in place with your fingers until the very end, because once you get to the end, you're going to have to tuck so that the larger tab always covers the smaller tab. I'd place it down on the table to get a better grip on it. There we go. You can see it kind of looks like a mess until it just all clicks right into place. And once it does, you can press down and it will make a perfect swirl. There it is. We can glue that on. And we'll move that one aside and we'll get started on the birthday cake. So the birthday cake is the only one that has a different actual structure. The box for all three of them are exactly the same. The birthday cake has a different lid because it's got this sort of dripping frosting type of thing. If you want, you can use the other lids for this box and just do it in the frosting color if you don't like the dripping frosting look. So I'm going to fold this bottom box the same way as the pumpkin pie. So if you want to go back and watch that for this part, I'm just going to speed this up. Okay, and now for the lid for the birthday cake, I'm just folding in all of the tabs. And this is going to fold essentially the same way as the bottom box. It just has curved edges instead of straight edges. So start with gluing the tab at the tip. That's important to make sure that it gets glued straight. Now you can glue the other 2 tabs to finish the triangle shape of the lid. Okay, and now the lid is ready to go onto the bottom box. That's what it should look like. So just like the cherry pie, there's going to be side pieces for the birthday cake to kind of show like a layer on the side. So you're going to want to put it halfway, but a little bit lower than halfway, because you can see how the frosting drips down a little bit. You don't want that frosting to catch on that side piece when you go to put the lid on. So I would put it a little bit lower than halfway. So I'm going to glue it on both sides of the box. Okay, now we can just put our frosting lid back on the box. And here's what it will look like with those side layer pieces. And now we can take this frosting piece, add some glue, and this will line up with this other pink triangle piece that will go on top. And just center that, add some glue, and stick it on the top. Okay, now I'm going to go through and add all of my sprinkles. I cut the sprinkles out of cardstock. I would recommend doing them in vinyl if you can. They would probably be a lot easier to keep track of and a lot easier to glue on. This kind of took forever with the tweezers and the glue. I like the effect. It came out really pretty, but I don't think I would do it again. So I would do these in vinyl if you can, or maybe put real, plastic sprinkles on. And I'm also adding sprinkles to the sides of the cake too. I would also do them on the back. I didn't do it here, but I would, especially if you're going to do them where you're going to put them all together to look like one big cake. You're definitely going to want them on the back side. And here's a look at it with the sprinkles and all. It's so cute. And now I'll do the whipped cream one more time. So first go ahead and fold in all of the tabs. Now each one of these 6 tabs has a small and a large tab on it. So you're going to fold, starting with one and moving around, you're going to fold the larger tab on top of the smaller tab on the next one. And then you're going to fold in order, so the larger one on top of the smaller one around the whole thing. And you're going to kind of have to hold it in place until you get to the last one and you tuck that last one underneath the next one. So it's always the larger on top of the smaller. And then once they're all tucked the way they're supposed to be, you can give it a press down from the top, and that will give you that little swirl. Okay, and here's a look at all 3 slices completed. Now, these slices do fit perfectly together. So if you cut 8 slices, they will come together to form a full cake. There's PDF instructions included with these files that will show what that will look like and some other information on what you'll need to do before cutting the files. Thanks for watching.